Hello team, how's it going? Welcome to Combat Ready HQ. I'm Craig, a former soldier of 16 years, and we're discussing the recent announcements of the cuts of some of the equipment for the British Armed Forces made by the Defence Secretary John Healey in the wake of what is going on in Russia and Ukraine, the threats against UK, USA, and us possibly entering a war shortly or becoming under attack. Is this the right thing to do? We're going to look at that today and discuss this. Or has he made a massive mistake and he is just putting us in a really difficult situation? But let's get into it. I'll show you what he's got to say and then we'll talk about it. Give my points. As always, comment below with what your thoughts are on this and what you've got to say and what you want to see next.
Too long, our soldiers, sailors, aviators have been stuck with old, outdated equipment because ministers wouldn't make the difficult decommissioning decisions. As technology advances at pace, we must move faster towards the future. So today, with full backing from our service chiefs, I can confirm that 6 outdated military capabilities will be taken out of service. These decisions are set to save the MOD £150 million over the next 2 years and up to 500 million over 5 years. Savings that will be retained in full in defence. And alongside this statement, Madam Deputy Speaker, I've laid a WMS to outline the detail of my decommissioning decisions. These include HMS Northumberland, a frigate with structural damage that makes her simply uneconomical to repair. 46 Watchkeeper Mark 1s, a 14-year-old Army drone which technology has overtaken. HMS Albion and HMS Bulwark, landing ships both effectively retired by previous ministers but superficially kept on the books at a cost of £9 million a year. 14 Chinooks, some over 35 years old, accelerated out of service. 2 Wave-class tankers, neither of which has been to sea for years. And 17 Puma helicopters, some with over 50 years flying, will not be extended. And
So let's just look at this then. So with these 6 capabilities being removed, it's going to save £150 million a year, 500 million over the next 5 years. And in the spectrum of things, that isn't very much really on when you look at the defence budget. They're looking to increase, obviously, and sustain a defence budget of 2.5% GDP. It's approximately, if I remember correctly, around 60 billion per year is spent on defence. And to scrap 6 capabilities, which I think some of them we could keep for that small amount of saving, is really showing how much they're possibly struggling with economics and military spending and other cuts, around the UK to really sort of try and squeeze as much money as possible and to make it look like they're actually doing things. So HMS Northumberland, I believe it's been out of service for quite some time now and isn't going to be in service for another a year or two. And from the research I've done, it wouldn't actually be missed too much. So that capability is most probably a right decision. There's no point just having it sitting around and wasting money. The Albion and the Balkan, the landing dock ships. Okay, so these are the landing dock ships for the Royal Marines. Okay, these are the only 2 ships that the Royal Navy has in service that allows the Royal Marines to do an amphibious assault. One of them, from what I've seen, has been out for around 5 to 6 years. One of them has been out of service for around 1 year. But apparently they are repairable in case of war. My point on this one is why I think we should keep it. A lot going on in the minute around the world, and we really don't know what's around the corner. We are definitely in a pre-war world. Secondly, it's the only way Royal Marines can assault or do an amphibious assault. So why would you get rid of the capability? They're the only ones in the whole of the British military that are pretty much, apart from special boat service, etc., out of conventional forces, that assault land by sea. No one else does it. And you've just removed that capability. Why not spend a little bit of money and have them ready for a war case scenario, okay? Just in case anything kicks off, you repair them and you get them going. So you have that capability. So these will be getting replaced by the multi-role support ships, but they are 8 to 9 years away. So they have completely removed the Royal Marines capability and the British Armed Forces capability of an amphibious assault, which is absolutely crazy in my eyes. Next, you've got the Pumas and the Chinooks. Some of them have been in service and flying for around 50 years. My personal opinion on this is, yeah, you could save a little bit of money by decommissioning a few helicopters. But I remember the struggle we had with aircraft during the Afghanistan war. Whether that was C-130, Chinooks and other sort of assets. And it was sometimes a nightmare to get assets just for an exercise, or when they were doing British military parachute jumps. I think we should maintain as much aircraft as possible to be prepared for a possible war in the near future. For the cost saving that it's making, it's really not much. It's not much at all when you look at the cost of, say, the Ajax variants, which is around 5-6 billion, I think. The cost saving to get rid of those Chinooks and Pumas is minimal. I think there's something that we could keep and just maintain just in case, as they are still used, some of them, on exercises in such of Cyprus and Belize. But he's saying these could be done by civilian aircraft. I don't think we should use civilian aircraft when conducting military exercises. We should be using military equipment, and these aircraft could be, just maintained and serviced just in case we do need them for the future. The drones and the Watchkeeper Mark 1s. Very old, especially in drone technology. He's very correct there. Technology is advancing very, very quickly, especially drone technology. If you look at drones 14 years ago to now, it's amazing the difference in the size, the weight, the speed, how they can handle the winds, say gusts of wind, and obviously the cameras on them as well to conduct the surveillance, because that's what we use drones for. Majority is obviously reconnaissance and surveillance, and then we do strikes with larger ones. These drones, yeah, you could maybe do what they've been doing in Ukraine and Russia and Iran and that, and you could maybe use them to attach grenades and maybe other sort of explosives. But ultimately, it's most probably the right decision to get rid of those drones because they so are outdated. So that is most probably a good decision. But I think with the Albion and the Balkan and the Pumas and the Chinooks, are my personal opinion, I reckon they could be kept, and it is completely the wrong time to make those cuts. With the way the world is, with how we are as a defence, as an armed forces, we're small enough as it is. We've got minimal equipment as it is. We're struggling with Challies. We've got rid of all of our AS-90s. We got rid of all the CVRTs, and we're still trialling the Ajax. It's still not fully operational. The C-130's gone now, and we are making our armed forces smaller and smaller. And I think we need to keep some reserves and be prepared for whatever outcomes. If it never comes, okay, brilliant. But for 150 million a year, on the comparison of things, it doesn't really make much of a difference. I think some of it we can keep. Getting rid of a whole amphibious assault capability, damn right stupid. He does say, though, these personnel will be retrained and redeployed. There are no redundancies coming. Of course there's no redundancies coming. How can they make any redundancies when they aren't keeping up recruitment numbers? Retention numbers are at their lowest ever, I believe, and we're not getting people in and we're not maintaining them. So there's no numbers to cut anymore with personnel. What he does say, though, there are a lot more difficult decisions coming in the future. So that to me speaks that there are a lot more cuts coming when it comes to sort of equipment, maybe camps, barracks, regiments. We don't know. The strategic defence review comes out next year. Don't know why he didn't wait till then to make these cuts. But we will see. We're going to see what happens with the Marines now with this capability gone. So I'm looking forward for the SDR next year to see what they've got to say. But with us on the verge of war, as I like to say, we are pre-war era, in my personal opinion. I think some of these capabilities we could have kept. I think he's just trying to make a bit of a statement because of what the Conservatives did and maybe how they've left the state of some of the financial. I think that's what a lot of the current MPs are doing, to take a bit away from the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, as well. I think they're just trying to make it look like they're really trying to get things done, when really some of it's most probably just pointless decisions or things a lot of the people don't agree with. But yeah, that's my personal opinion on it. We will have to see what comes out in the future and then the strategic defence review, because I am very interested to see what other difficult decisions he's got to make next year and in the near future. But thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe so I can put out more and more amazing content for you all. Thank you for all your support. Remember to comment below with what your thoughts are on this and what future videos you want to see. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.